And Pat and the boys were playing well.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I believe that's the last match tonight, so going to be a couple of great matches. Then next you have Luminosity versus Splice. LG, they didn't look the best yesterday, but they still won pretty comfortably.
Again, is that them not looking the best, or is trying to play some new maps? I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
but even on Docks though, didn't exactly look to the form we would expect. But here we go, kicking things off with Temp. You're gonna see an AR in his hand, at least off the break. You're likely gonna see that switch over the course of this. But yeah, not gonna be Valkyrie. Gonna be London Docks to start things off. And I know they lost this to EG yesterday, but typically this is a very, very good map for Envy. But this is one that we saw Scraps take over yesterday. All right. Hook having a nice start there as he finds a couple kills.
Yeah, they were undefeated, right? Up until yesterday, or like something ridiculous. I forget what it was. It was like one of Envy's very first losses on this map, but there we go. You see 3 players go down on Envy. Last one does go down. So now they're going to focus on that top street. Some solid time for UNILAD.
And Main Street, the next Hardpoint, one where Envy was very, very good at Atlanta. Weren't great yesterday, so I'm curious to see if they'll pick things up today, if they can get into a solid position off the break. The lone man remaining there is going to be Hook. He's the final one. He's going to deal with a lot of pressure coming in, and Shawnee and company just burst on through. So now you're spawning the whole way out, kind of the backside of Underground, and you've got to fly across the map. This is a great start from UNILAD. You get 26 seconds to 9 on the first hard point, and you're set up nicely here for the next one as well. Yeah,
I felt Moose played a very important role there. If he's able to get pushed out, he's going to make it easier, but Shawnee's having a great game, Scraps as well. And this is what I said in the analysis. If someone can help out Scraps, and so far, it's Shawnee. Everybody playing very well on UNILAD. Temp, though, they have a pretty solid pinch coming from Envy. He gets taken down, but you can see the top of the street, Envy starting to come down on that hill.
They've got a 2-on-2 here where they can push. They win both those gunfights. So Hook and Classic take the one-on-ones, and they get inside here with 25 seconds remaining. This will get them back into the swing of things, but UNILAD's done some damage early. Nice hold at the first 2 hard points, and you can see they're set up nicely inside a fire. Moose wins a nice one-on-one. And they've got 2 players already, well, make it 3 as the spawn comes in, positioned around that docks.
Yeah, let's see what Temp chooses to do. It looks like he's going to go top middle off that spawn. You have Shawnee down here. You have another player in fire. That'll be a big engagement. Scraps and Temp. If Scraps is able to lock this down, it'll basically save this side, but Temp's able to find him, and Hook goes down. So now you're going to see those spawns. They're top Underground, so now you have a 4 versus 2 for Envy.
But Moose going big. He beams one there at the top of fire steps. Gets another kill as well. Waskin, though, pistol out. Not much he can do. Did they buy enough time for Scraps to make the play? They did. Scraps. Nice shots of the first, even better on the second to pick him off the box cover. That was sick stuff, and plays like that are what's going to win you hard point.
Yeah, we talked about the 4 versus 2, but when Moose got those kills, 2 of Envy actually spawned out due to UNILAD's teammates spawning up, so it almost created another pinch, right? So they bought enough time, allowed Scraps to get in there, finds that last 2. 18 seconds left on this hill. A solid start for UNILAD. Everybody playing pretty well, and they have control of that back barrel building.
But you got to think Envy's going to turn it up at some point, right? All 4 players negative. That is not typically a critique we'll make of this team. They were the only squad in Atlanta that all 4 players had a positive KD after the event. We sometimes critique them because they outslay their opponents so badly and barely win games. You have to think this is going to turn around. And when they lost this yesterday, the thing that kind of, stood out to us is Slasher didn't have the best of games. One of the poorer performances, that didn't go anywhere. That did not go anywhere.
I'll tell you what, though, UNILAD, they had a pretty solid setup, but they didn't get the first 15 seconds of that time. They were just making sure they had control of the map, had control of the spawn. So UNILAD just starting now to pick up some time. Hoot going all the way around through Underground. Gets taken down by Weskin. Nice shots right there, but here comes Classic and Slasher. Can they break this hill? They have the side of the map that they want. Nice shots from Slasher. He's starting to heat up. Can he find the 3rd? No. Scraps staying alive. Doing a great job contesting.
Exactly. Can Scraps and Moose make the play in the front here? Hook has been tagged up, but he is still up. Scraps right on the other side of the wall, just trying to wallbang.
And I'll tell you what, even if you're UNILAD, maybe you give up these final 10 seconds, but you have, you have Crane side. This is what you want. Envy, they make that push so late into that hill. This is when they have to stay alive. You can see Scraps spawns all the way out. And just like that, Envy have control of those spawns.
This is the first time I think you've been able to say that Envy have had control of spawns. They didn't for Main Street, they didn't for Docks, they didn't for barrel building. finally you have a chance, but this is like the hard point. I guess you least... Okay, yes, you can get some time here, but I guess spawns are least important because we know how scrappy this can typically be. And as Shawnee makes another big play, finding 2 in the front, the spawn's starting to fall apart. Yes, you're still spawning useless. Yeah, you can rotate over, continue to flood, but look who's in the hard point. It's UNILAD, and they've cracked the 100-point mark.
Yeah, EnVy tried getting pushing out towards that lower water. That's what you want to try and do, and really try to force them to spawn Main Street. There's one player left, that's Slasher. He's making a big play. So he's just disrupting time. You tell Wuskin he's just trying to get pushed up, try to cut off those people that are throwing nades onto that hill. Doing a very good job, able to find one. Just buying time for his team. Can't find the second, but that's okay. There's just 10 seconds left on this hill.
All right, so we're basically through our first set of rotations. What is going wrong for EnVy?
I think you pointed out, they've just lost every single, spawn rotation on the map, especially hills number 3 and 4. And really that Main Street UNILAD did a very solid job. So far so good. Again, the slaying is not like, you can't point at one first on EnVy and saying they're having a bad game. They're competing.
Well, sometimes they may not have the spawns, but they kind of rely on the gun skill a little bit too much. We've been critical of that. But when you're relying on the gun skill a little bit too much and you're not winning all those gunfights, it's very tough for a team like EnVy to find victories. Well, they heat up here now in this second set of rotations. They're doing a much better job at statue, that's for sure. They got beat, 27-9, I think, the first time through. Batman comes soaring through the sky. Shawnee not going to be able to win that one. You still have spawns. Last time EnVy had a similar scenario. I think it was Shawnee that came in and found a couple of kills. Well, Shawnee's dead, so you don't at least have that opening.
I was just going to say, this is where they really lost this setup. But 3 go down for UNILAD. They're going to spawn low water. This should be the last 10 seconds. Go towards UNILAD. You see who's trying to get him off this time. That's fine. They don't get it, but now they have the setup. This is the setup that you want. You're going to push those guys out top street, force them to go all the way around and really spawn low water. Slasher setup in the back.
And when they have this setup, typically, this is where EnVy dominates. This is where they can get back to the lead. Slasher, one of the best in the business, kind of holding this backside push. He's so good at retreating into useless if he needs to, but it's a nice grenade there from Wuskin to not even give him that chance. So now they've gotten through the back as they pick Slasher. Tim's going to have a lot of trouble, but a lot of help here as well as everybody rotates back. They know they're spawning out low. They don't have to worry about pressure coming in from Cole, at least right now.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? Like, yes, they do push through the back, but you force them to spawn out low water, right where Scrap spawns. And as long as you have this top street, you're basically closer to this hill. You can really show up with your reinforcements and your nades much quicker than that team. There we go, Temp getting streaks.
And now this is, I think maybe you saw an example of what I talk about with this team when it comes to Main Street. This is going to be a full 60, and you got streaks behind it. This is usually where they bury teams, and now you've got a lead change. EnVy down by as much as 60, now in control of the game, and that is what a flawless hardpoint can do for you. And when you pick up streaks off that as well, which they're very good at doing, it helps you break into next. And once you get to Doc's warehouse, it's not that hard to rotate to barrel building. So usually, all the momentum from EnVy builds from that hardpoint. Can they do it here?
Yeah, but UNILAD are holding strong right now, but now the pinch is on. You see where Temp is, you can see where Slasher is. There's that spawn underground. The kills have to come in fast, though, because just like I said, a pinch will develop off those spawns. It's not Classic and Hoop. They get taken down. A solid hold from UNILAD.
Yeah, it took too long to get in, right? Like you said, the other spawners come in. They're able to shoot them in the back. This time you do at least have barrel building control early for EnVy, but you get that perfect 60, and now it looks like you're going to give up nigh on a flawless hold here in Doc's warehouse as well for UNILAD. So really good response from UNILAD there.
Yeah, it definitely is. Again, that streak comes in they almost time it perfectly. Classic was going towards that lower red train, but he gets taken out. As you said, 10 seconds left. EnVy, though, the one thing they lost in the first rotation was getting these spawns for barrel building. They have control. This is the time where they cannot go down and spawn out.
Moose trying to be the guy in the break. It's traded well as Classic finds a couple, and now they've got the setup. 3 spawning for EnVy. They just want to try and make it so UNILAD never really gets a 4-man hit. Keep staggering them if you can. Don't allow them to apply pressure to the front and the back. They keep finding the kills in water. And Slasher and Temp, and Classic involved in the action as well. Classic getting ever closer to these streaks. Scraps dropped before he was able to pick up any.
Yeah, now you're seeing these teams just trade back and forth. Just switching their hill rotations. But there we go. One player gets through the back. That's Shawnee. He's in the hill. He has help from Moose. Hook, though, he's coming up these water stairs. What can he do? They have to get these final 20 seconds. You can already see on that mini-map that UNILAD has started to rotate towards that crane. There's still streaks to work with, I believe, on the EnVy side.
That was one of those nice plays where it's like a 2v3 type scenario, but Temp and Hook are able to make the play. And that's going to turn into like almost like a 30-point swing, because they're going to get those final 15 instead of UNILAD being able to hold on, and then they're able to apply pressure across the map. So this has been a really nice sequence for EnVy. You got some streaks on the Classic.
Shawnee's got to make the play right now, but he does win in that 1 versus Temp. That allows them to push low water. Yes, Classic's going to be set up, but here comes those nades. But a glide bomb coming in. Classic gets taken out, but Temp able to find 2. You have to try and get pushed up. Who's trying to get those cuts?
That's everything you can ask for a streak on this Hardpoint. To get 2 as they're pushing in. At the same time, your teammates are going to get that spawn. EnVy's got to get somebody in the Hardpoint, but they're looking for the kills first. Hook wrapping around through mid, wins a nice one-on-one. That's going to allow him to, well, I was going to say, get control of Doc's warehouse. Got to push those spawns out further, but a team kill does come in from Slasher.
Yeah, this is why Crane is just so difficult. You can hear all those nades going off. Nice shots out of Temp. He's playing very well, 30 and 24. Classic as well. I mean, really everybody playing well. Hook maybe a little bit slow, but still, UNILAD is in the lead with 5 seconds as we go into the next set of rotations.
And I mean, the big thing is going to come down to that main street. Can UNILAD deal with it a lot better than they did the last time through? Because that was legitimately a flawless 60 from EnVy, and if you get that again, well, the game's over. Slasher hits in through mid as he drops. They want to invest a streak here. Classic getting some damage down after the first kill, but not going to provide a whole lot, at least maybe an opening for his teammates to come off spawn and get back to mid. But unfortunately, Moose already tucked into a safe corner. You've got Scraps hitting in through mid-cut as well to get into the hard point.
This is big time. This is big time for UNILAD. Plus that fighter pilot was invested. There we go. 3 go down for UNILAD. I was going to say, the big win for them is those streaks aren't going to be used at Main Street now, right? Classic uses the glide bomb and the fighter pilot, doesn't get anything from it.
Yeah, and you try to target Wuskin there. In the process, one, you don't get Wuskin with the glide bomb. Also, he kills 2 people. Classic almost just got destroyed at back boss. He was able to stay alive and actually win that one-on-one, which is big because he was the last man up.
Yeah, but you can see the setup for me on Main Street, right? So UNILAD, they're going to get these last 10 seconds, put them in a very nice spot. You have Classic in the back. You have someone underground. That's Hook. He's in a big 1 versus 1. Let's see if they win these gunfights. Moose wins that one. You can see where Hook spawns out, but all the kills going EnVy's way.
They're looking for this hold again. I think it's Temp that's going to be pushed up. Temp's got a lot of pressure to deal with. He's going to get flooded there from 3. Hook's trying to get through mid, but can't even help. So Slasher's going to have a whole lot to deal with. Can't win it. There's the break from UNILAD. They only need 15 more points now. It's desperation time. And look at the spawn from EnVy. You've got 1 spawning underground, 1 spawning all the way out docks. They've got to basically cross the entire map here and get them out of the hard point. They don't have a whole lot of time to do this. Slasher gets 2 big ones that gives them a chance, but still, they clear them out of the hard point. So Hook gets the crucial kill to make sure they're not able to win the game here.
Yeah, Slasher's nade as well. Slasher was able to get up 2. Finds another one. So they're not going to be able to win here, but they don't lose the game. Now they have to...
Yeah, UNILAD did just enough, right? They got just enough to make sure that EnVy could not win it there on Main Street. Classic.
Here we go. Here's the big place. You can see EnVy's just going to give off this time. They want to win. They have to force a 4 versus 4. Temp gets taken down. Nice nade right there out of Scraps. 3 players of EnVy trying to push aside. They're just trying to contest who gets in.
They know they have to get in contest. He just has to fly in the window right now. You only need 2 more points. There's 2 players here from EnVy that are trying to fight. Contesting in the corner is going to be Wuskin. Slasher wide peeking. He's going to get picked behind the box. All 3 are going to drop, and there you go. A big, big win from UNILAD. And that's back-to-back losses on your bread and butter hard point of London Docks for EnVy. UNILAD, man. It's like... It couldn't be more opposite of stories coming in. You know, you're coming in riding high if you're EnVy. You've had your best performance at a major LAN. You expect them to play strong. They don't. UNILAD, not the most impressive performance in Atlanta. You expect them maybe to come in and continue to struggle, and they're doing the opposite of that. They're looking strong. I mean, a win over Splice and a win over EnVy. Wow, that puts pressure on everybody.
No, it definitely does, and I just love when we go see the reactions of EnVy, especially because you just tell Slasher's just like, this is what we did wrong. We need to do this. Like, these are just some of the things that, I mean, they go right into it right after that map.
And a big part of it, like you saw the second time through, they had that flawless hold there on Main Street. They got the full 60. For me, it was just that first, I don't know who it was. It was the first one-on-one kind of near Underground, the top side of Main Street.
Oh, Moose and Hook.
Yeah, once Hook lost that, everything can start to collapse. Like, if you win that first wave and kind of get into good positions, it's not that's easy to hold, but it's not that hard to hold. They didn't win those opening gunfights. Once he dropped, they were in trouble.
Yeah, I think the first rotation, you obviously have to give to UNILAD. They did a very good job. But the second rotation, where we saw that Main Street hold by EnVy, UNILAD respond with that lower docks hold. So,
well, remember last time they all kind of tried to hit through mid and fire, right? This time they're at least able to pinch. And sometimes it just comes down to a handful of one-on-one gunfights that can decide the game when it's close like that. You know, we didn't see it from, I don't think we saw it from Hook's POV, but him losing that one it just kind of opens the floodgates, right?
Yeah, it
because
definitely does.
You go from not having to worry about that side to all of a sudden the people worried about fire and kind of looking at mid-cut have to scramble to pick up other angles.
I wonder if Slasher had to wide peek that window. I mean, he had backup. He tried getting in a position. I would have loved to see him back up and just play in that window.
Hold the box or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the play call there. But as soon as I saw him wide peek, I was like, well, Scraps is going to kill you in a matter of seconds here.
Yeah, he had help from his team. I think there was 2 other NV players there. So.
Maybe just expect. I might have not noticed the grenade tossed in the box. Maybe he was trying to avoid something. I didn't see one, but
it was weird.
Yeah. Or maybe just the confidence he thought he could beam somebody out of the window. Temp, solid game, but not enough to get the victory.
I mean, again, it's EnVy loses these games, and I mean, you just point to a couple of key situations that change everything. It's not like they're having a lot of issues slaying. They're putting up the kills. You had a great game out of Classic and Temp. I mean, maybe you say Hook lost that one-on-one underground, but I don't know, man. Just this EnVy team, when they lose, it's not due to the scoreboard.
Yeah, no, and again, not trying to pin the entire game on that one-on-one, but like, you shouldn't even be in the position where it comes down to one fight like that. But like you had to, if you were going to win it for EnVy, you think you have to win it there on Main Street, because it's very difficult. Like that's one of the harder breaks in the game, unless you get somebody pushed all the way up through barrel building and you can pinch right away on Doc's warehouse. But that rotation from Main Street to break into Doc's is not easy. So you thought with that scoreline, once they gave up the time and couldn't win it at Main Street, you felt like UNILAD was going to take it, and they did just that.
Yep, a great game 1 out of UNILAD. We saw it yesterday. They stole a respawn from Splice. They won both search and destroys. Can they do it again versus Team EnVyUs? And game 3 CTF London Docks? We saw EnVy lose that one yesterday, so the pressure is all on them right now.
All right. Well,
yeah, it's trying here today.
Yeah, what was that? I started choking as I was talking.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I think I've had like 4 water bottles. We'll say it's the dry air of Columbus, Ohio. I'm okay. All right, search and destroy now. Offense first for EnVy. You see a lot of nades coming out from that exponential class there in Shawnee, as he is able to connect and maybe slow down the push that's going to be coming into B. Slasher doing the best he can to stay up and put some pressure in, but Scraps will take him down with the wall bang. Nice first blood.
Yep, great shots right there from Scraps. You saw what UNILAD was trying to do. I think if Slasher wasn't there, they might have pushed through that courtyard. Huto and the rest of EnVy are set up in this B site, so if they can get this bomb down, it's still very doable.
And it's big, losing Slasher first. He's the guy that is, either going to be trying to help with the flank, but Classic's now going to have to focus this. You only have 3 players in the site. They still have to get this bomb down, obviously. Here we go. So bomb's starting to get planted. You see 2 pushing through the flank. So it just depends on the timing of this hit for UNILAD. You have the 4v3. Can they swarm Classic maybe to open things up with the 2 players pushing the flank?
Yeah, but I mean, he's in such a good position, right? Like, this is what's so difficult to retake this bomb site. I don't know if they have many nades. Classic, he spots one. So they come down to these gunfights, and there we go. That starts it. Great job by EnVy to hold.
And that's the big thing here. With Classic staying up, he makes sure you just have to take one-on-one gunfights on the other side of the map. They do just that, and Classic holds the flank. On that site, it is very manageable to win a 3v4, and they do just that.
Yeah, you just had no nades left on the UNILAD side. That's what you kind of have to do. Yes, you worked that first pick, but you saw off the start a lot of nades go in there. Not able to find anyone. If you have some left, that's when you're able to retake it. Just make those guys weak.
Oh, yeah, the difference between holding that with 2 versus 3 is just insane. I mean, if they got the first pick behind a nade, anything, you think they're winning that round, but nice 3v hold there from EnVy. And I didn't see, they must have invested like everything off the break, because I don't think I saw a single nade come in once that bomb got planted. Unless they might have tossed someone in to check the bomb, because you did delay the plant a little bit for EnVy, so there might have been something that went over the top that we missed.
UNILAD, they're going to go towards this A side. Slasher's going to spot 1 and a second, so he's going to back on up. Slasher almost picked again very early on in the round. Temp locking down this middle street. A very tough gunfight with that STG.
Yeah, even that's a difficult range with any AR. But they're starting to push up towards A. Can we check the view of Classic real quick?
Nice nade from Slasher.
Yeah, did they combine nades? Yeah, it was probably, I assume Classic and Slasher worked together to take him off bomb.
Yep.
That's why I wanted to see this POV just as it came across, but I believe they connected there to pick it up. That's a gunfight you're rarely going to lose if you're Classic.
Yeah, he's having a jolly old time up here. This position so difficult to take down. There is one player, though. Look at what Moose is doing.
Well, Wuskin's got to stay alive until he does it.
Yeah, I was saying he didn't go up top, so. Moose, very loud as well. Doesn't have Mountain or Inconspicuous on. May find one player. Nope, not going to. Hook finds him.
Yeah, there's just not enough time. I mean, he's late flanking. Even if he made some sort of play, he would have had to kill probably both players positioned by red. And you still had Slasher there near Barn. They could check bomb. I don't think there was any way they were getting that plant down with that time on the clock.
So solid defense from Envy. Slasher able to stay alive. He spots a couple at A. Classic, you know, switches up his position. Combine those nades. And this was a big thing in Atlanta, right? With this Team EnVyUs lineup is they were able to win those search and destroys. They were so tough to beat.
They were early. Friday and Saturday, that's for sure. See if they can get back to finding a bit of as it doesn't seem to be coming in their hard points. As they started, what, 10-0 in hard point in their first 2 weeks. They've started 0-2 in the second 2 weeks. A little bit different of a stat line. Scraps getting out at least.
Yeah, Envy's going to hit this A site. You have one player already pushed up. That's Hook. Flashing in the back, just needs to stay alive. Does just that. And as soon as that happened, Hook's actually planting that bomb. So there we go. 4 versus 4. You have all of Envy together, UNILAD. Where are they going to try and start this push from?
Yeah, I think the big thing is you saw UNILAD invest a nade towards A early in this, so they couldn't double nade him off a bomb like you saw Envy do for the first blood the previous round. Now you've got a 4v3 with a setup here post-plant. Scraps does get a pick to give you a chance. Moose getting in up close. Does a little bit of bait there for 2 players, which I think opens up for Wuskin to find a pick. Everything falling apart now. It's Temp. Temp gets gunned as Moose hits the edge, and there's a 3v4 retake onto the A site. That just can't happen.
No, it definitely can't. And that just starts from that, I mean, Hook over-challenge. He chased that player through middle cut after he was weak, but really he's watching that mid-cut, just trying to help his AR who's taking a gunfight. He's not able to win that one. That just allows UNILAD to start those trades, so great job from UNILAD. That's a big response. Would have put it 3-0, so.
Yeah, you had a couple players doing just a good job of staying alive. The one that was peeking in through mid distracted too, which I think led to a kill and allowing the player on the opposite side to get into a better position. Just excellent job all around. Okay. Let's see what UNILAD opts to do here. They want to go towards B. There's already one inside sight, but Hook is gone. He gets picked by an 8 immediately. Classic, though.
That's a tough shot.
How did Classic just get that kill?
I don't know.
I didn't even think he had the angle on that.
Yeah, it's a very tough shot, and that just makes it a 3 versus 3. Definitely doable. You can see Temp still has a nade left. Needs to try and stay alive. You have Slasher on the flank. He has a nade as well. So looks like UNILAD's going to go to that bomb setup. But with a couple of nades left, this might be a whole different story than that first round we saw with UNILAD.
Let's see how they string these together.
Okay.
First nade going to be in. That's right on the back of Wuskin. They got to peek him now. They have got to try and pick him up. He's laying down behind the bomb set. There's the kill. Is that what opens things up? Now they're re-pivoting there behind the tower to make sure they have the angle. 15 seconds on the clock. Such a tough gunfight for Classic, though.
Just not enough time.
Makes a play to at least get a kill, but yep, like you said, not enough time. Maybe he can find another kill, or Shawnee can get the ace. I think Shawnee may have picked up all 4 in that round.
And Temp was the key guy there because he had a nade himself. He gets picked off top middle. I felt like he should have just waited for his teammate to peek that flank through, throws a nade in. As soon as he throws that nade in, maybe they get the guy off bomb. That's
so wait, so Hook died top red before he threw the
Temp,
nade?
you know, Temp did.
Oh,
yep.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Temp dies early on. If he doesn't die there, then it's a 3 versus 2. It's a lot easier to do that.
You need to have 2 nades to retake that. Like, you need to. Shawnee, yeah, I'm nearly positive he got the ace that. I'm not entirely sure. Could have been won the round previously, but regardless, Shawnee. Big round from him, and just like you saw the opening from UNILAD, similar thing comes in now from Envy. Shawnee tries to dive across and just gets caught.
Yep. That's a big first blood for Envy. We saw them go towards this B bomb site.
I'll be honest, Siri just started.
I was so
What the hell was that? I don't know if that came through the mic, but my phone's in my pocket, and I heard Siri yell at me. Settle down, Siri. Bomb gets planted for Envy. I was like, what the hell was that? Oh, Siri, dirty devil. Temp on tower. Nice shots from Wuskin. They're able to pick him up, so that's going to make Classic reposition. He knows his flank is okay because you see Slasher there at mid-street, but they can't overwhelm the 2 players on site. They've got 3 to work with here. Slasher might have to come get in the action. Slasher has to get in. They're getting swarmed. They're getting absolutely swarmed. Classic does a good job at least staying alive for a moment, but now it's all going to be on Slasher to clutch. Scraps is going to push out the back immediately. He might have saw him try to hop and able to win that. Now, The push does come in. Will he have time to get back the bomb? 10 seconds. 9,
done it.
8.
It's close.
It's real close, Joe.
I think he might have just missed it.
Oh, probably needs just a 1/10 of a second there, and he's able to get it.
Yeah, but as you said, Slasher just played that flank for a very long time, but the bomb was down. He wins that first gunfight on the scraps. That's basically what changes it. But that did get a little scary there. At least Classic got one more.
Well, you saw it. I mean, just from Slasher's position, like I know he's got the flank picked up, but when you only have, we mentioned it from the first round, when you only have 2 players on site, it is infinitely more harder to hold than when you have 3 in a position on site. And you saw what it looked like from Classic's POV, like especially once his teammate dropped and lost that 1v1 to top red, he just got swarmed. I mean, there's a lot of cover to work with, but there's only so much you can do.
Yep, UNILAD looks like they're going towards that A site. You have 1 player in B for Envy. That's a big gunfight right there from Luskin.
Oh.
That'll open things up. You can already see 1 player's already through, so Scraps is going to play very sneaky. He might catch this player off guard, and is.
Nice job. And Slasher's now been first blooded a couple of times throughout this. Suddenly it's Classic all alone. He's 8-4. He's been doing one hell of a job, but he does have a grenade. He's just got to... Oh, catch. Ooh. Just gets away from it.
He just stiff to the left.
Yeah, he doesn't realize he crossed. Well, he probably does now. Needed 1 more bullet there, but he was still probably in trouble.
Yep.
Everyone getting hydrated?
Need that H2O, as we said.
Yeah, you do.
Try here.
Try.
Yeah, during the after map 1, I was like dying.
Well, yeah, I saw you go over and like hit the cough button and mute yourself a little bit and chug some water, and like right after that, I like choked while I was trying to make a call. If you're just joining us, welcome. Envy, who just placed 4th at Atlanta, is not having a good start here to this 2-week stretch of Division B before we head into Birmingham, before we head into playoffs. Granted, I mean, they're looking good for playoffs, but you don't want to go in to a $200,000 tournament, a $500,000 playoff, playing not at your best. But that was an easy break on to be. And did 2 players just cross each other?
Yeah, I think they had really bad timing right there. So Scrap's able to get through, but so is Slasher. Moose the last guy here, but they're not going to expect Scraps to be.
I don't look at Tim's position right now. It's almost like they think somebody could have hit up through mid because Tim's watching towards mid. You see that arrow?
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost like they're worried they got bad timing, but I don't think they're worried it's going to go deep. I mean, it's not going to matter because it's 1v4, but awkward moments like that can certainly cost you. Not able to win it. Okay, so yeah, I think they thought something fishy might be up, just because they never spot the A player all the way through that. So you got to think he's roaming mid or roaming somewhere on the flank.
We know how important first bloods have been so far in this map. Back-to-back rounds with that first blood, that team won it. Shawnee tries it in with his smoke, but peeks that bomb site a little too far. The ARs of Envy able to catch him. That gives them that plant, gives them full control of that bomb site. So that one is always difficult to retake.
It is. And Shawnee's been first blooded, trying to make plays in the B site. Slasher's just been having a rough time in the sense he's just getting picked out of windows. If he can stay up in this round, he certainly have a better chance. But Classic is just sprinting through. Wuskin, though, up to the task. And that's going to be a 4th first blood here for the UNILAD side. So all tied up now in first bloods, and looks like we're going to be all tied up in round count unless they can connect a couple grenades together. Is anything going to follow up on that? I think there was a second grenade, but didn't hit.
Then there was 2 more as well.
Huh.
So they both must have missed. Now you have no nades, 4 versus 3. This is just so difficult to do.
Good luck. I don't even know what advice to give a team in this spot. No grenades, man down, trying to retake the B site. Someone's just got to... Okay, yeah. This is what you expected to happen. There's not a whole lot you could do.
Yep, great round out of UNILAD, and again a first blood from Weston. The 2 offenses they won back-to-back. He got a pick on the Slasher top middle. He gets that pick right there. Classic trying to take a risk and catch those players off guard, but he was ready for it. So
I'd love to know where all their grenades went. Because we saw from Classic.
They might have landed a little early, just like in the middle of the air.
I don't know. Classic's obviously connected. We saw that. But where the hell did the other 2 go? I mean, with 4 people in sight, you got to think 2 are going to connect on somebody. If you're coordinating them properly, that is. So maybe a miscommunication there from Envy or just some poorly thrown grenades. Well, Hook goes before a smoke pops and almost pays for it.
Yeah, but Envy have control of this site, and they just commit to it, right? They go right for that stick, one nade. They have gone down, but there's no follow-up. So now you have the bomb down once again. We saw Envy in this position earlier in a 4 versus 4 retaken.
Well, it's a 4v3 that time, right? And UNILAD still did it.
Yeah. They have a bit of a different position. So you have Hook all the way pushed up. You have a player on bomb. Then you have Temp. Look at his position. So as long as a player doesn't full flank, they'll be set up perfectly. And there we go. Killzone Envy's way.
Last player right in front of Temp here. It's going to be Scraps. He knows where his teammate got dropped from, so he's just waiting to see if he can maybe pick up a kill. Nothing he can really do in this round. Just not enough time to do anything. He will end up dropping. So very nice round there. Yeah, Hook almost, it almost cost him. Like if he gets beamed there from top red as he's trying to cross, that round goes very, very differently. Yeah, but that's the adjustment they make. They try to get guys pushed up a little bit because when you give UNILAD a little bit of room, there's only a couple of places you can check that bomb site from. And if UNILAD have control, Envy has to peek it, and that's how they got retaken. Well, yeah, they that last offense. They were able to get up to yellow barrels and use that as cover instead of having to go through Hook, right? All right, Envy 1 round away from tying up this series. We'll see if UNILAD can win this round 10 and push it the distance. Temp getting into top red. Pressure, though, going to be going towards A. So the big thing is going to be if Temp and Slasher can combine grenades. So I want to try and keep an eye on that. Wait, Slasher already used his. So never mind. So Temp will have the grenade. Somebody else is probably going to have to be the person that tries to catch them on bomb unless Temp can get a couple of shots in and also connect the grenade. Nobody's watched the cross either for Envy. So that smoke goes down. There's the grenades. Yep. They're waiting on it. Oh, but they found Moose. Moose was playing under those sandbags, right? He was going to jump up in case anything crossed. So now you have a 4v3 retake if you're Envy. Classic. That's a big engagement, able to stay alive. That was a hell of a play. That was a hell of a play. Just getting a couple hit fires in and getting out of that, not trying to take that challenge. And now they have a 4-on-2 here for the map. Slasher rips Scraps. Wuskin all alone. 30 seconds to work with. They know his position. Tries to re-peek. Slasher gets it. Plenty of time on the clock, and our series going to be tied up at 1 apiece. And that was, I mean, pretty even split we saw for between like pressure on the A side, pressure on the B side. You saw teams mixing it up quite a bit. It was a fun search. Yeah, it definitely was, and it really just came down to team's first bloods. I felt like that was the big difference maker. You know, when you go back and see how many each team had, I imagine Envy had just a couple or more that allows them to put that map away, but that's a great response at Envy. That's not what they had yesterday, right? They get 3-0'd by EG. They don't take it to a second hardpoint. That's where we know Envy's at their best. So I believe that 4th map is a Valkyrie, so we'll see Envy on that one. Yeah, they do a good job answering back. Envy at least maybe ending some of the frustrations from back-to-back losses on London Docks Hardpoint, where again, they're usually, they reign supreme, but not today, not yesterday. But the search, maybe they're starting to work things out there. CTF, this is going to be probably the all-important game, whether or not we maybe see this go to a Game 5 or whether we see Envy close this out in 3-1 fashion. Tough to imagine that UNILAD's going to take 2 hard points off the boys in blue, but UNILAD, they have been impressing thus far. Can they push the series the distance? Guys, we'll find out. We'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back. Series tied up at 1 apiece. UNILAD, Team EnVyUs. This is the Call of Duty World League presented by the PlayStation 4. We are nearing the end of Stage 1 for the Pro League. We've got this week and next week to round out our top 4 teams from Division B. We're going to see who's facing off against Rise Nation, Optic Gaming, Red Reserve, and Team Caliber in the $500,000 playoff. And between that, we've got another $200,000 major going down in the UK. So a ton of incredible action to come. Those of you out there watching, thank you. Joe and I love you each individually.
That was a beautiful heart.
That was a good heart.
Did you kiss?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Amazing.
I don't even know if the camera caught it, but it was super creepy. There you see the scores from the first 2 maps. London Docks up next. This should be a fun one for sure. We're at least guaranteeing a Valkyrie with the series tied. And if it does go to a Game 5, we'll round it out on Arden Forest. London Docks. What do we see? This is where
EG
beat EnVy, yeah, last night. EnVy almost had that crazy comeback at the end.
Yeah, it was like 3-1, and then EnVy started getting some streaks. They tried rallying. They did a great job like spawning them lower and then trying to pull through Coal Room, right? It was just a little bit different than what we've seen before, but EG able to clutch up. So you gotta imagine if they win that CTF, the reverse sweep's probably on, but here we go. Game 3, UNILAD able to take that hard point. EnVy respond with that search and destroy.
And this is a map where, God, you just get a couple early kills. It can snowball very, very quickly. Opening breaks, crucial in any CTF, but I think this one probably the most punishing. Temp just going to sit through that grenade. He's got Hunker to work with. You saw he has an airborne class on as well, so he can get to the box quickly and maybe win a gunfight. Yeah, that kind of shows how crucial those opening gunfights are. Just an extra second or 2 to get into position could be the difference. Right now, the tides seem to be shifting a little bit to UNILAD. That's 3 down, 4 down. Thankfully, those kills kind of came on the aggressive side for EnVy at least, so they're going to be able to spawn up and should be able to get into a bit of position. Well, actually, I take that back. I forget sometimes how fast you can get across the map. 2 just spawned in, and you've already got 2 players inside a fire. Temp getting tagged in the back right now, Joe. EnVy's got to try and hold. Yeah,
I think the big thing is that EnVy started making a push. Nice shot right there out of Westkin, but they started making that push. But the guys on UNILAD still had their ARs off the break, so a great job by them, but Slasher here to respond.
He's trying to hold on, but it's UNILAD trying to answer. They lost the search and destroy. They need this big CTF. They need this win desperately for their playoff hopes. Let's go to an Astro listen in here with UNILAD.
From B, dead.
One's in B, one's in B.
I kill 1B, 1 with fire.
B, Slasher. He's in there. He's on tunnel.
Nice,
good trade, good trade.
He was watch stairs again.
He's on one stairs. Red train. He's on there.
I'm pushing B.
Nice, good play, Tom, good plays.
Pushing B. He's in B, one in B.
Oh, low.
Help me B, I'm coming in. I'm going in now.
Hey, weak shot.
Red train
and water stairs. From B.
I'm waiting for you, I'm just waiting for you, tunnel.
1 top 2 on 8.
Tunnel back B.
Go on.
Nice.
Tunnel stairs. Went round the back. Green stairs on the flag.
Wait for temp.
Pushing out Louis.
I'll push it low in a minute.
I'm crying now.
And see him low.
Fire. One B. Dead.
I'm crying. I'm coming.
Back. I'm going. Wall bang me. 2.
Come on,
one more hook. Off there.
Coming low now.
You gone low?
He's on box.
No,
he's on box. Stand up.
Wait. The box up too. Oh, fucking hell, man, no.
Stay
alive, Sean, stay alive.
They got a water spawn.
One to be fire.
One will be
One's
fire.
on weak,
Dead.
Nice, go on.
One's in fire.
One's in fire.
One K. I didn't see him spawn water. One's pushed up way.
Fire, weak.
Low ladder. Take your time, Matt. Don't spawn out, they're going to know you're here.
Need to go beer, Sean, straight away.
Yeah. I'm standing there, push.
You're going to know you're there, Matt. You would have got a water spawn.
A beer. And then stand in a beer. Help me, Tom, if you want.
Low. Oh, red train. Slasher. Slasher's red train.
From beer, Tom.
Getting your tunnel,
You're going to tunnel, Slasher.
From beer, dead.
Yeah.
Nice. One more front. You push them straight for the flag.
Get away, Matt.
You get us away, you can get out.
Brad's on your away now.
I'm playing B straight, I'll spawn, Tom.
Yeah. Spawn back of our base.
Let's go.
Nice, that's 4. Last one got me rid of something.
I'm going to chase, go. I'm following back.
I've got chase.
He's mid, he's from beer. Can you get him?
Yeah, I'm going to cross now.
Got one.
Could be in beer.
I see him beer.
Are you good? One's down low.
Good shit, Matt.
He's on the boxes, classic.
Push.
Should dance on it.
I'm pushing fire.
Oh no.
Standing fire.
Crank with an eye on.
1-0 UNILAD. You saw really nice patience from Scraps and really unfortunate timing from Classic. I mean, he was holding that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to judge that, but if you think there's a player there, at least wait for him to touch the flag. Then you can at least go on the chase. He decides to auto-mantle up. He climbs up. Just finds some really bad timing. I mean, he's not having the best of games. 1-8 right now from Classic. Again, this has been a player at Atlanta, and even the past couple of days, he's been pretty solid so far. So this is one where he's struggling, though.
Yeah, definitely got to turn it around. A couple gunfights can turn that in your favor. That's one you should probably win. Shot's just a little bit shaky, but he is able to connect with the grenade. Will be traded out here momentarily. As two players want to make sure he shuts it down, but all the way across the map is going to be Moose. Temp not able to get anything done. It's actually the assist for Moose, the score for Moose. 2-0 UNILAD.
And EnVy just not, I don't know, man. They're just not looking as dominant in these respawns so far.
I don't know how they went backwards so much in a matter of days.
Literal days. They looked great in Atlanta. Yes, they lose a couple. They lost a Game 5 to Rise, and then the losers bracket, they lose a Red Reserve, who was just beating everybody.
I wonder if they're trying to change some things, maybe.
You wouldn't think so. But they are struggling right now. UNILAD on the attack once again. Rigo down, that last player up, that Tuki has to try and stop it, but flag gets out. This should be another flag count for UNILAD, but a couple of water spawns. Are they going to recognize this? Is Shawnee going to go through that gate? He does. Great job by him. But there's a player already set up. That's Classy. It's his time to shine.
Yeah, Musha spawned. Classic's going to be dead in a moment here. Can't get away with it. 3-0. Fantastic first half from UNILAD there as they dominate from start to finish. Nothing going EnVy's way. You know, you listen to the comms there from UNILAD. They were, I mean, honestly, calm. You didn't really hear much said outside of what was necessary.
Yeah. Not too much small talk. Just call out, say I'm pushing this, but it was solid. Yeah, nobody getting like too hyped up. They were just focused in. You heard, like, especially when Scraps is in the base. Hey, they're gonna spawn water. They're gonna know you're there. That's when Scraps played very patiently. He's able to find Classic, and that's what really got them their first flag on the board.
All right, so they already have a couple of streaks. Shawnee very close as well. If he gets these, this is just going to be bad for EnVy because you're going to need so many touches to equalize this. Nice one-on-one gunfight win there from Classic. That's only his 3rd kill, but it's a big one. 2 more streaks. It's just you're adding on to the number of touches you actually need, but soaring forward is going to be Scraps. And they're going to streak behind this, so Scraps in position to maybe make a play. He actually already won the one-on-one. If they can pick up Classic here in the front, which it does, I thought maybe he got to safety. Now you've got 2 players coming off a spawn. Wuskin very close to this artillery as well. EnVy just want to get out of their damn base.
Let's say the break again. The break goes towards UNILAD's way. That's what you talked about, the importance of it on this map.
Well, the break, if you have a bad break, it can be literally playing from behind for like 2-3 minutes sometimes. If you don't have a big mistake from the opposite team, like a 3, well, okay, like that type of, like a 3-down type situation where you allow them to start to get some breathing room.
But Moose,
I think he got hurt.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Temp doesn't pick it up, but there's Hook. Hook's gonna watch it. He's gonna play a little base defense while the rest, the other 3 players push up. Able to spot him, and Hook has a PPSH right there. Moose had a STG, wins that one. That's nice shots out of Hook.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, with him holding that deep of an angle, I was like, does he have an AR? But Shawnee turns and snaps onto Hook. You hear him screaming. Scraps getting loud as well. Is EnVy just, they can't string together any kind of kills together to, I mean, how many, have they had like 1 flag touch? Maybe 2?
Yeah, not many. There we go. UNILAD, they use their streak. They're able to combine it. There's 1 player left. Slasher, he's going to get the flag carrier, but there's 3 players there.
It's another score.
Yeah, and you just look at the scoreboard. I mean, 3 players on EnVy. Pretty darn close to double negative. Classic almost triple negative. Not the best start. Slasher trying to do the best he can, but there's Moose. The SMG pressure for EnVy is just not playing too well right now.
It's non-existent, and that is where they typically thrive. I mean, I know Slasher can take over a game, but usually Temp, Classic, and Hook, you could call them one of the best trios with regards to 3 SMG maps. And yeah, they're not doing much of anything. Wuskin with the AR is just making this a nightmare for them. He's 22-6. He's on a 5 streak now. He's holding angles that are putting, EnVy in places where it's almost impossible to win a gunfight. If you're just running into an STG on cover over and over again on this map, it'll get frustrating very quickly.
Definitely what you see what EnVy's doing. They're in a bit of desperation mode right now. Finally, a gunfight goes their way, but 3 players overextend. Slasher, he's going to try and lock down this base. They should be able to get a flagpole, but Slasher, he's going to get taken out. You still have some streaks on the side of UNILAD, but both flags are out. This only helps UNILAD. You're just wasting time. You want this stalemate to happen.
You got to pull it to him. I mean, if you're Envy, I think you got to take it to him. Just try to win these gunfights. I mean, I'd say at least give yourself a chance, or I mean, risk it and lose 8-0. Like, you got to try and be as aggressive as possible right now.
He gets out. Scraps is away.
Scraps is away. There is one player, though, that can make a play. It's going to be Temp. Temp. Can he get it done?
There's 3 people
Oh, God. Yeah. This is going to be, this is not going to be easy. He does spot one in the corner. I don't even think he's going to win the first gunfight. Nope, it's Wuskin yet again. 23-7. Hook's going to be next man up. He's giving away his position with a couple of shots. He's going to get dropped. There's a score. Return on the other end. 5-0. What is going on?
And you got to think all the teams watching too, like Splice, E-United, EG. This just puts more pressure on them. If UNILAD are able to win this map, they're probably thinking, what the heck's going on with these teams? Or is UNILAD just playing that well right now?
I mean, I think they're definitely playing well, but part of the blame certainly is going to go on Envy. I mean, Classic is 5-18. That's a stat line that just makes you feel gross.
Yeah, sometimes he has those games. They're just bound to happen. Like,
he didn't really in Atlanta that much, though. Like, I can't get over how, you know, consistent they were through their first 2 weeks. They start out 6-1. How solid they look. Obviously, Atlanta to get 4th.
I mean, Atlanta was 5 days ago.
What changed? Did someone break a couple fingers on two of the players' hands? Like, I can get Envy losing some games. I mean, they definitely are a team that look very good or very bad at times. Just to get outslayed like this, UNILAD, a brilliant performance, 6-0. Wuskin having a field day, doing his best to match the incredible game from Clayster in the St. Marie Hardpoint earlier today.
27-8.
And look at these are just gunfights where, like, if you're Hook or Temp, you can't win those. Like, you're going up against an STG on cover. And not that Slasher is having that bad of a game, but he sure as hell is not having a Wuskin performance. UNILAD now up 2-1, looking to come into Division B in the final 2 weeks with a 2-0 start here. And suddenly you're wondering if teams like FaZe and Envy are even going to be safe with the 2 and 3 spot with the way they're playing. I mean, imagine UNILAD come in, they don't lose a series, or they only drop to maybe LG.
That would be crazy.
God.
Possible now. UNILAD looking so good, but the series is not over. You have Valkyrie Hardpoint up next.
Hey, I called out Europe a little bit on trading shots. Maybe they heard me. I pissed off the Twins, and now they're frying, man. I mean, we talk about UNILAD. Like, Scraps has been so consistent, but when there's somebody else there, somebody else that has a big game where all three in that instance are going off, like, they're a terrifying team. Like,
no, they definitely are.
Figure it out.
Typically, it's a sub. I think Wuskin has been solid and consistent as well. It's just who's going to help Scraps, right? Play that aggressive role. In game number 1, it was definitely Shawnee. You saw him constantly picking up 2 to 3 kills at a time. But in game number 3, it was all 4 of those guys.
Yeah, wow. Usually it's going to be all 4 when you're winning games 6-0. Did they get another one on 6? Yeah, I think it was
6.
Oh, like,
yep.
That's just a beating. It's like an S&D score line. Like 6-0. And now you get a Valkyrie. And I would... This is one I definitely would have chalked up as an Envy victory, but now I don't know what the hell to think anymore. I don't know what's going on with Envy.
I guess the one positive you have is if they win Valkyrie, you go to Arda and Forest, where I feel Envy is pretty comfortable on. It's one where we've seen them play a lot of times. They have a ton of repetitions on that map. So the Yoda Game 5 should feel pretty good if you're Envy. But yeah, Valkyrie, you need subs, right? Like your sub players have to perform well on Valkyrie Hardpoint. And in Game 3, they were non-existent.
That's what makes you scared, though. Yeah, absolutely. Again, one you'd pick for Envy, but I don't know. Just with the way these two teams are playing right now, you can't imagine there's going to be that big of a shift between, you know, maps 3 and 4, where suddenly they're firing on all cylinders. I mean, they need to get up in the face of Wuskin and certainly not allow him to be as comfortable as he was in that Game 3. I know this is not a map where ARs typically take over, but the one thing that can be said, if you're an AR and you usually have early setups, that's where you can really be a difference maker. And if you think back to the London Docks, the rotation battles and the early setups were usually all going to UNILAD, at least in the first half of the game. You put Wuskin in prime positions, then, and yeah, he can absolutely be a difference maker. And that's what's so tough. I mean, yeah, Slasher, we talk about him being one of the best players in the game, but when you're constantly just trying to break the hard point over and over again, and you don't have any control, it's not the same as just being, you know, set up behind a box and frying people as they dance around trying to have gunfights with your subs.
Yeah, EnVy just have to forget about that one. Focus on this one. You're still in the series. You won that search and destroy. And that's why winning that is so important, because it just extends this series, right? It gives you another life. If you start to heat up, we know the world-class potential that this Team EnVyUs lineup can have. Can they finally wake up here a little bit?
And was that, oh God, I might be making this up, but was that their recipe to beat Splice yesterday? UNILAD, did they win 2-3-5?
No, they won. Actually,
I think it was 2-3-5, wasn't it?
I think it was 2-4-5.
2-4-5, was it? Okay.
Yep. I don't think they won the CTF. I could be lying.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what it was, because I remember talking about it. I just can't. But they won both the searches. That's the big thing. So if it gets to a game 5, you know, maybe that's what.
But UNILAD's already won 2 respawns.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's see. Will EnVyUs finally show up, or is UNILAD going to win another big series, put them at 5-4?
My eyes are on, I mean, at least on the EnVy side, if they're going to bounce back.
Just pick one sub.
Classic has to step it up. I mean, the others didn't have great games, but Classic might as well not have spawned in.
Well, 3 go down already for EnVy. Make that all 4. There's
clicking,
the subs.
Man. They are clicking. What a break here from UNILAD in the opening.
You always heard like players in their interviews, like UNILAD, they know the potential that this roster has. You know, they felt like they're always choking games. Oh, we choked this one. We didn't send this to a game 5. Maybe they have, again, as you said, they start clicking, but there we go, 3. There's Who Can Tempt, 3 go down for UNILAD. They're starting to earn some time. Plus they have, you know, that control of Operations Bunker.
So UNILAD gonna have to try and fight through this hard point and also fight for the top, but you still have to deal with Slasher inside. And Slasher gets 3 before finally dropping to Wuskin, but it's that last man. Wuskin is the final person in the trade, and he's able to chalk up a little bit of time. Temp will ultimately end up trading it out and get picked out in that corner, but the next hard point ready and waiting for Team EnVy. They'll be in first. One player does spawn out, so there's a nice pinch opportunity here for Slasher.
Temp doesn't recognize that. Temp has to recognize that when he spawns out that there's a player going all the way around, and he doesn't. So now there's a pinch happening, but 3 kills go EnVy's way. That could have been very bad, but UNILAD, they have the spawns due to Moose. Moose almost finds another. Slasher finds 2. There's the twins. And now they have control of operations.
And it looks like right now, I mean, we don't even need to think about the AR. I think they're running 4 subs here. That's not going to be the same on the other side. So they're going to be able to play a little bit of a different play. So Slasher, I think, does have the AR. Wuskin, I'm pretty sure I saw with the PPS-8.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday against Splice. There was no ARs in that matchup. So some teams just have a different formula, the way they're looking at the map.
Well, just something to take note of during this, because yesterday we saw 4-on-4 subs. I can't remember. We haven't seen too many 4-on-3, at least recently. Wuskin's showing he can do with everything. Monster game last game. Now 9-4.
And look at Classic again. You call him out. He's 0-5 right now, just not having a great series. He's having a horrible series.
Yeah, it just might be one of those things. I mean, we saw there have been top players that have had that. You know, we saw Scum have a horrendous series against the likes of Rise. They get beat up. You can call it somebody like Formal, who's had some tough series. Just thinking of top players that have really struggled and they end up dropping series. Classic, maybe not in that same category, but still, when you have somebody that can't find a kill, oh, all right, his first is on the board. That's going to be the change, maybe.
Don't let him find all 3. Oh my, he almost gets the 3rd. That's Scraps. Staying alive. Now his teammates are here. And the big thing is they had operations control. They win storage as well. It's very dangerous on this map when you allow teams to connect hills with one another. We're going to head over to Office. I feel like Office is sort of like the money hill on this one. Yeah, I feel like for the most part, again, every single one you can lock down, but I feel like Office, you can really get them spawning pretty far away.
Yeah, you certainly can. You're going to need... EnVy's got to get a hold. I mean, they're just getting crushed. I think he stuck him. Yeah, Slasher gets stuck there. Is that maybe going to be the opening they need? You see where Slasher spawns out. This is another hard point where he's having to rotate over when the break is starting to come in. They still have to deal with Classic in the back. He's got 3 kills in a row. Has he started to turn it up a little bit? Maybe that's what you're going to need for EnVy. He does ultimately end up dropping, but Slasher's still doing a good job holding there in mid. Hook will be the one getting it done inside the hard point. You talked about this being the money hill. You get close to a full 60 here, and you're right back in the swing of things. And Temp inside, doing everything he can to just make sure they can't knock on the door of this hard point. They haven't even really got close to contesting here.
No, just right there, just when they finally get into the back door, but Temp and Classic shut it down finally. Get a little bit of life from the EnVy guys. Can they keep this going, though? We're going to head over to Smokestacks. I don't believe there's any streaks on either team, so...
Reminds you of even the London Docks, though. There'd be one hard point where EnVy was holding pretty well, and then the rest were going to UNILAD. yes, you're right back in this, but you have to do a better job somewhere outside of office because that has accounted for nearly all your points.
Yep, Hussein at that time. He's just 1 kill away from streaks. Rushes that guy. Know he's getting pinched. Great awareness out of Hook. He's on a 6 spree, 17 and 10 right now. Maybe as soon as he spawns up, he may call in a streak. Actually, his teammates win that. There's Classic. He's coming alive a little bit. 8 and 10 now. What, he was 0-5,
I think. 0-5, 0-6 he had to start. So he has definitely picked it up, and maybe a big part of the reason that you're now going to see, there was about to be a lead change, but you did get in for UNILAD, and they've got these streaks coming in from Hook. He kills 2, weakens 1, should be what they need to get back into the hard point and rack up some time. Slasher just trying to hold inside the building until his reinforcements come in, but Moose able to pick him off the barrel there.
Yeah, there's Temp. So a solid first rotation for really both teams. Temp starting to heat up. He finds 2, finds a 3rd as well. He's working on some streaks, 2:25 away now.
Yeah, it's going to be just about a tie game, and well, I mean, you remove Office from the equation now, and UNILAD crushed him.
Definitely did. They have control of early ventilation. There's 2 players in. Classic, though. And Grayson wins that one-on-one versus Moose, and he finds a second. He does. There we go. Classic turning it around, 12 and 13. Great job from him to break into ventilation.
I mean, this is literally all you needed to start to have a 4-man unit that's playing together. Not out of the woods yet, but it seems he's starting to shoot a whole lot better. Tries to snap on to another one. Who's there to trade it? One more time. It looks like it's going to be the final guy actually end up being Temp. So Envy right back in control of the hard point. A much better job of ventilation here compared to the first time through, Joe.
Yeah, definitely so. And again, they have that operations control. Slasher locking down that streak. Shawnee and Scraps are trying to break in. At least get this scrap time. Not able to do so. There we go. The final 11 should go their way, but Slasher almost picks up Weskin. Weskin almost finds a 3rd as well. So this was one where UNILAD broke last time. You can see that one player. That's number 2, Shawnee, trying to get all the way around.
Well, if I remember right, Slasher died first and spawned out right. Then Moose was able to make a play around the back.
Well, Slasher should be able to hear this. Not able to.
Temp, though.
He spawns up just in time. So Hook and Slasher are going to pick that guy up.
Yeah, they keep that close spawn, like you mentioned. A bit of a team kill there, but Moose killing everything. Moose gets 4 through that, maybe a team kill, but it's enough to get the break. No, he actually does end up getting 4 in a row, so he's very close to streaks as well. Moose, what a play here to get in. Can he stay alive? Another gunfight win for Moose. He's got help coming in. He has been absolutely a monster on this particular hard point. It was a good time to do it because Envy was starting to look like they were finally going to be pulling away. Wuskin 3. Moose and Wuskin. I think they picked up, he got 4. That's like 9 kills between the 2 of those players in that hard point to now put them back in the lead here. Yep. Plays like that, they can win you hard points.
Definitely can, but Envy have full control of storage. Great job rotating. One streak going to come in. Probably not going to find anyone. Don't know if I agree with that, but that'll allow UNILAD to push up. Scrap's able to find 1, but that gets traded out. One player did spawn out. That was Hook, but he finds 1 in the back.
Yeah, so he spawns out, but instantly able to see somebody.
Yeah. Here we go. Kills going Envy's way. Streaks, though, for Weskin. So you have streaks on Moose and Weskin. That'll be very important as we head to smokestacks. But there we go. Scraps breaks in.
Well, the big thing is going to be Office the next time through. That's where Envy really dominated. If they dominate there again, they're going to win the game. But that's like what we said about Main Street, right? Granted, they were trailing that time. Can they get that nice hold? Still 20 seconds here. Looks like they want to flood for another crack at this one. They're still spawning safe there in that pocket to the left.
You see those 2 players that come off spawn start to rotate towards that Office. There's just 12 seconds left. They do a good job locking that down. They're just going to hold now. They'll have about a 20-point lead as we head over to this towards this next hill.
Yeah, this is the game. Can UNILAD break this time? Maybe he'll be behind a streak. Looking for what he can. Doesn't connect there on Slasher. He's able to get the safety, but it does force him into line of sight of Moose here. There's only 2 players left. Can they get it done? It's going to be Temp and Hook inside trying to make the plays. Temp wraps around the back. He gets picked up. Hook last man up. He's going to drop. The break is in. All 4 down. Some more streaks here from UNILAD. And they are alive and well in this one. They couldn't break the first time in Office. They do it here swiftly.
Yeah, and look, a fighter pilot's in. That's to delay the push of Envy. 30 seconds left on this Office hill. Weston pushed up very far, able to find 1. He's having himself a great series, 29 and 21 with 90 seconds in the hill. But Envy, they're trying to break through this front. That'll be big time. Plus, the UNILAD team, they have more streaks, and Moose is working on some more. He's only 150, 175 away.
Another lead change here, Joe. UNILAD now back in front. How crucial are these streaks going to be to this? Moose wrapping all the way around. I think he just got spotted. Yeah, Classic spots him. Now these streaks you think should start to come in. Waskin's calling one in right now. Fighter pilot in. It gets one, but the other players on EnVy do a good job to try and hold. Hook weak, gets pushed. If Moose is able to get inside here, he's going to pick up some streaks. More to work with. This is the power of streaks on smokestacks. I know it's not finding a ton of kills, but it's making it very difficult for Team EnVyUs to traverse the map. They're having trouble even getting into a position to go ahead and crack here.
Yeah, they're just staying alive. There's another fighter pilot from Moose. Classic tries to get on the hill, and they're just delaying time. They've been on it this entire time. 20 more seconds. And they put EnVy away 3-1. Slasher, though, able to find one through the middle. Can't find the second. There's an artillery.
They can win it here.
Yeah, they're gonna try and win it here.
They can win it here. They only need 8 more points. There's enough on the clock. They're holding. They find another kill. They have to go through the artillery. He's not going to be able to march on through it. Can he get in and contest for a moment? He actually does win a gunfight and contest for just a second, but not long enough. What a victory here for UNILAD. They come in to the second half of Division B and get 2 massive victories. One over Splice, one over EnVy. And the boys are in the hunt. The boys are in control of the hunt right now.
And they won all 3 respawns. 2 hard points in that London Docks CTF.
EnVy needs a spa day.